All right. Star is asking this question. She says, some of us write letters to God or just simply write things down to Him, to God. Does the Father receive those letters? And if He does, how does He receive them?
There's several different ways that can happen. I would encourage you, if you wrote one, read it out loud to Him.
Oh, that's good.
You can do that when you're just by yourself, in your prayer time, or just in the time where you're walking or just doing something. You can actually read it to Him and say, Father, I have written this letter for you, and read it to Him. He absolutely is going to hear you read that letter. And they probably record it. It's probably recorded in heaven. They do a lot of recording. There's angels, that's what they do. And they're sent for that. They actually record things. There's couriers, there's scribes who write things down, or else they write things down, you say, or they bring messages from heaven that are written. I've had both of those happen to me before. But absolutely, if you want to stand in a spot and just say to your family member, I love you, I just want you to know I haven't forgotten you, I'm excited about one day being there with you, then He'll make sure they hear that. People think everything's so far away, but especially the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit, if you wanted to really say something to them, He loves, by the way, writing that thing down is an MO, it's a mode of operations of the Father. He does have we know He has the Lamb's Book of Life. We know that He has a Book of Remembrance. He actually has many, and they're real books. They're huge books, and He does actually write in them. He likes to write things out. Christ would rather say it.
That's
But the
good.
Father writes things down. You know, He wrote a book about your life before you were even born.
So good.
So I would say you writing things down, maybe a good thing would be to get a journal. And if you think of something each day to say something to Him, then you write down the date and what you wanted to say to Him and make sure He hears that. And the other thing you can do with that journal is when He begins to answer you, it may be that still small voice inside, but you know it's Him answering because He's answering what you just said to Him. So that way you can have a two-way conversation, and you could record it in a journal, and then you can enjoy looking at it later on, or maybe leave that for your children one day, and they might be surprised
Wow.
what God said to you or what you said to Him. So authorship is a really big thing in heaven. Everyone has written a book that represents God or heaven or just something really fun but decent. They're already on library shelves in heaven. Your book's already in heaven.
Really? Do you mean everyone's written a book, whether they've written it here or not? What do you mean by that? You said everyone.
Some
Are you
people
saying
authors still write books in heaven.
but are you saying people that don't write here are actually in effect authoring a book there? I'm not quite sure what you're saying on that.
No, what I'm saying is those who have authored a book
Okay.
here,
Okay.
those books, I saw my own books in a library in heaven. So I
Very
do know,
cool.
and I was told those who become authors is so important because even when you're gone, that book remains here and those words will still be read by people. And it may be something spiritual, or it could be something just a help book, or just something funny that's really decent and people love to read. And there's still people who read books and author. You can go get them out of the library, or you can just request to have one yourself there in heaven. And you have a place for a library in your own mansion, so people
Wow.
still love to read.
Well, I thought it was cool when Bill Johnson had my book in his library. If my book is in heaven, that's way cooler.
Yeah, it is
That's
in
way,
heaven.
yeah, that's very, very cool.